The English language is so elastic that you can find another word to say the same thing. By Mahatma Gandhi. Welcome to our English class. Tell me, what can you see in this picture shown? Yes, you guessed it right. It's the herb. So, I think you guessed right. Today's topic is related to the herb, and it's the magic herb. I think now you're very interested in seeing what the chapter has in it. So let's start with our chapter. I hope you like it to listen and understand it very nicely. Let's begin with our first para given in the chapter. Knock, knock, knock. Someone was knocking on the door of the inn. It was already getting dark outside. Did you hear that knocking? Yes, someone was knocking on the door. Now tell me, what is the meaning of inn? Yes, it's a small hotel. Whenever you go out somewhere for a picnic, a trip, or just to roam, you need to go to a hotel. If you stay a night at that place and you don't have a house over there, it's simple as that. So, this sentence or this para means that someone was knocking on the door of a hotel and it was getting dark outside. Let's see the next para. Who's there? The innkeeper called from within. So there was a loud noise. Someone said, "Who's there?" The innkeeper called from within. Who is the innkeeper? Guess. If inn means a hotel, then innkeeper means the person whose hotel is it. Yes. Let's continue. I am a poor tired merchant. I want to spend the night at the inn, said the man outside. Yes, the merchant replied to the question, "Who's there?" He was a poor tired merchant and he wanted to spend the night at the hotel. Let's continue with it. The innkeeper was not pleased at all to hear that the man was poor, but he opened the door and brought him inside. The merchant wore simple garments and carried only a simple cloth bag on his back. So, the innkeeper was not at all happy to see or to hear that the man was poor. But still, he opened the door and brought him inside. The merchant had wore very simple garments, means very simple clothes, and carried a simple cloth bag on his back, as people of villagers do the same. Let's continue. I have spent a long, tiring day today at the market. I don't have the energy to walk back to my village. Please prepare a simple dinner for me, requested the merchant. The merchant had requested the innkeeper that he wanted a small place to sleep in his hotel. He had a very tiring day today at the market as he was a merchant. He has to go to the market to sell his merchandise or the things he have to sell. And he didn't have energy to walk back. Means you can see from this sentence how poor must be that man. He didn't have any money to take a bullock cart or a horse chariot to go back to his village. And you know always there isn't any type of modern vehicles in villages. But at that time, at this time in modern times of 21st century, there are vehicles, modern vehicles in villages too. We see motorcycles, cycles, etc. in villages now. But at that time, people used to use bullock carts, horse chariots, etc. to go from one place to another, or they used to use a donkey to, take the merchandise or things and carry it on a donkey. Now let's see what's written in the next sentence. Please prepare a simple dinner for me. He asked for a dinner to the to the innkeeper. The merchant requested. He pleased. The innkeeper just nodded in yes and went back to the kitchen. Ugh, what's the point in serving such beggarly customers? He calls himself a merchant, but look at his clothes. Look at his bag. His shoes are worn. He has to carry his merchandise himself. Cannot afford a servant. Cannot afford even a good meal. Beggarly means like a beggar, very poor. Merchandise means goods for sale, things that a merchant sells. Afford means having enough money for something. So, over here, the innkeeper says, why should I serve such a person who is so poor? And even he says himself a merchant. But look at his clothes. He looks so poor. His clothes are so bad, dirty. Look at his bag. His shoes are worn. Worn means all torn. He has to carry his merchandise. Means the goods that he sells, he has to carry himself. And he even can't afford. Means he can't even pay a servant or hire a servant. He cannot even afford a good meal. He even can't afford a good meal. Oh, so sad. When does the innkeeper say everything? Yes, he says everything when he nods his head to the innkeeper and goes to the kitchen. Let's continue. You're right, said his wife. She was as greedy and unkind as her husband. So, there's another character in the story. The innkeeper's wife. She was also very greedy and unkind. Greedy means for some, always asking for some or the other thing from someone. And unkind means you know very well. We cook a meal for him, give him a place to sleep, And what is he going to pay in return? Just a couple of coins, maybe. Why did you take him in? Why did you take him in? Drive him out. So the wife of the innkeeper says, we will give him a meal. We will give him a place to sleep. But he'll in return give us only a couple of coins, means some money. Why did you take him in? Drive him out. Means she said to her husband that you shouldn't take the servant inside. You should kick him out of the door or from the house, from the outside itself. I think after seeing this very nice meal, you are feeling saliva in your mouth. No problem. After the lecture, just go and eat your lunch, dinner, breakfast. No, no, said the innkeeper. That is not good for our reputation. But I have an idea, a very clever idea. I have this magic herb I bought long ago. Whoever eats this herb forgets something. We will cook a good meal for this fellow and add the magic herb to it. Then he is sure to forget some of the merchandise here tomorrow. So the innkeeper had a very bad idea. He said first that it's very bad for the reputation. What is reputation? People's opinion. What they think something is. But he said he has an idea which was very bad. He had a magic herb he bought long ago. Whoever ate that herb had to forget some or the other thing. So they cooked a good meal and were having the idea to give it with the magic herb in it to the merchant. They dreamt that the magic herb will make the merchant forget that his merchandise tomorrow over there in his room. So let's continue with our topic. How clever you are, exclaimed the wife. Yes, what else can he forget? He has just his merchandise with him. Maybe he will forget all of it and leave it here. It will surely be ours tomorrow. What is the meaning of merchandise? Yes, merchandise meaning the things which a merchant sells. So the wife exclaimed that how clever you are. And then they thought that what else can the merchant leave behind, because he only has his things that he sells in the market. They even assured that it will be theirs tomorrow. So that's what the greedy couple did. They cooked a tasty meal for their customer and added the magic herb to it. The poor merchant did not suspect anything. He thanked the innkeeper and went to the bed. So, what is the meaning of suspect? It is doubt something, think that something is wrong. So, the greedy couple cooked a very tasty food and gave it to the poor merchant. But very sad, the merchant did not thought anything and just ate it. He did not even came to know that there was something unnatural in the food. He thanked the innkeeper and went to bed. I think you want to know what happened next after the after the merchant woke up and at the next morning. Let's see. The next morning, as soon as the innkeeper and his wife woke up, they went to the merchant's room. But alas, the merchant was not there. The room was empty. Oh, now do you think that what must have merchant left behind? In morning, when the innkeeper and his wife woke up, they directly went to merchant's room, but they did not find anything over there. Even the room was empty. Let's see what had merchant forgotten. I think you want to know that what merchant had forgotten in this small room after eating that magical herb. What's this? There is no one here. And where's the bag of merchandise? That too is gone. So they thought that where is the merchant and where is that bag? It's too gone. Now let's see ahead. Let's check. The magic herb is quite strong. He must have forgotten something. He must have left something behind. So the innkeeper said the magic herb is very strong. So the servant must have something forgotten in the room. So they began to check every nook. The innkeeper searched in every nook and corner of the room, but he couldn't find anything. How come he forget nothing? I can't believe it, he said. They found everything, everywhere, but they didn't got any of the thing from the merchant's bag or any of the merchandise. In this small little room, suddenly the wife slapped herself on her forehead. We were so foolish. He has certainly forgotten something. And what is it? He has forgotten to pay us. Very good. It's the thing it should happen with those two greedy couple. The merchant had not forgotten his merchandise. Instead, he forgot to pay the couple for the meal and for the bed. The innkeeper never used the magic herb again. This was the moral of the story, and it was written by a Japanese folktale. Sorry, it wasn't written by someone, it was a Japanese folktale. Thank you and have a nice day ahead. Let's meet again in our next lecture.